Justin D. Jenkins here from the Quintessential Gentleman. I'm here with the creators of the all Black original series, Sin Help. Gentlemen, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing well, man. How
Doing
are you?
well, doing well. Thank you for taking the time out to talk. I know you're both busy creating magic, and everyone's excited to see the show. So, how excited are you both knowing this series will soon be available for the audience to see?
Man, I'm over the moon with the idea that it's about to be out there right now because it's been a labor of love for a very long time and a passion project for the both of us. So to finally get an audience review and perspective and see the conversation that's about to happen or may happen is a blessing. So I'm super excited for all that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely. Echoing everything Jean just said, we've kind of like been in an incubator putting this thing together with a small group of people. So to have it out in the world by next week, for people to enjoy, for people to critique, for people to have conversations about, it's gonna be really interesting. But we're looking forward to all of that.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Now you both are coming from the world of Insecure. What experiences on that set that you kind of carried over to this new experience that you had with Sin Help?
It's a good question.
Mm.
Um, well, to Mike, one of the things that pointed out earlier today was the fact that we kind of like mirror their model of allowing them to feel be a part of it, and also putting some of that cast, some of the people in our writers' room in episodes and things of that nature. For myself, for myself, it was just seeing how Issa wore so many hats on the production as well as being on screen talent and learning how to navigate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome,
I
awesome.
think the great thing about Jean and I's relationship is us being able to work together to for to achieve one thing, right? And I feel like that's the same thing that we watched Etha and Prentice do for years.
Yeah.
Work with each other, lean on each other for things, but also just as a writer in the room for Insecure, seeing how they navigate that room. Um, it just I wanted to mirror that same thing in our room, like the one Jean and I created, and they have been great mentors and allowed us to really kind of like learn from them. So really appreciate what we came away with.
That's awesome, awesome. So now, what was it that inspired the story of Sin Help, and why do you feel like now is the perfect time to tell that story?
Well, story is loosely based off my life,
Yeah.
and it's a story I wanted to tell because I it was something like I felt alone in, but also knew that other people were probably dealing with the same thing. So it was important for me to actually speak on that, but also highlight just being a first generation Haitian American, um, doing something so far out of the scope of your family's purview, and just living your family's wildest dreams, and just doing something different. And that was very important for us, like for me to create this show for that purpose, one of those purposes.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely want to see a little bit of yourself reflected on television. We grow up wanting to see a little bit of ourselves reflected, right? And us both being Haitian American and having never really seen proper representation of us in this kind of like entertainment space, it's just been a great
Yeah.
opportunity for us to be able to create that for ourselves. So we're really excited for everyone to see it.
Yeah, definitely. And the series it explores the complexities of being a black man and how layered we are. Can you talk about what went into creating the Fritz character?
Yeah, when we started brainstorming how to create the first character and how we're going to make him three-dimensional, we had to understand the fact that what's called some people literally suffer in silence and they don't
Yeah.
literally speak on what they're dealing with or what they're going through. And I know a lot of black men do that. They just bear it down and just man up instead of like really speaking on what's bothering them, what's going on the inside. And sometimes it can drive them crazy. And it literally, and now the time where we're actually exploring the idea that black men suffer through mental health, that black men actually do deal with these things as well. it was very important. It's timely for us to even come out like we're coming out right now. Having known two people that have passed away recently from self-inflicted issues that they weren't ready to talk to anybody about, which I feel like, which is disheartening for everybody else around them, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we try to reflect a lot of that on the show because it's something that we haven't really seen, especially told through a black male lens. So that was, important for us to talk about. Because to what John's saying, sometimes that subject comes across as taboo or comes across as something that, you know, shouldn't be discussed. But we wanted to do it and do it in a comedic way. Do it in our way.
Yeah.
So we hope that people just are entertained by the show, but are also learning something about someone else, or maybe a little bit more about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, definitely. And the show also gives an inside look of your character Fritz navigating Hollywood. How is it for you two both being black men in Hollywood, and how are you guys navigating and taking care of your mental health?
Looking after each other.
Right. Okay, listen here, Justin. We still figure it out, okay?
How much time we got?
No, that's a great question, man. Self-care. Self-care is really important. Leaning on your tribe, knowing when to take a step back for yourself, and when just to be present when there are issues at hand that you feel like, okay, I need to kind of relax and just take some time for myself. But yeah, but even Jean and I relying on each other, talking to each other, having those moments where we can like really just sit down and have a conversation and not be so withholding about what we might be going through. I think that's part of the issue too, and especially when it comes to black men, the fact that like to Jean's point, you have to take it on the chin. You have to be a man. You can't talk. You don't need to talk about certain things, but that's not the case. We can most definitely talk about those things, and we do that often with each other. So that's how I feel like we've been able to survive in this business. Is just
Yeah.
lean on your friends, man.
Yep.
Feeling your friends, yeah. Definitely, definitely. And can you talk about how important it is to be on a streaming service such as like All Black, the streaming service All Black?
Yeah, I think it's very important for us to be on a streaming service like All Black because it's a place where we could actually grow. Um, All Black is a newer platform, and they're shelling out some amazing content and be a part of that round of new content that's being put out there, and somewhere we could just grow on a platform and grow with the networks is something amazing to be
Yeah.
a part of. We're not jumping in when the train left the station. We're at the train station. We're about to take off.
Yeah, and one thing that's been really important to us as Black creators is working and creating Black content. So to be able to work with a network that celebrates that and celebrates several facets of that in different ways has been really important to us. And they've given us a lot of freedom too in terms of like what we want to create, how we want to create it, and haven't really questioned at all certain like cultural specific things that pop up in the script because they
Yeah.
understand okay, that is culturally specific for being Haitian
Yeah.
American, so that's not something that's questioned. Whereas maybe if
No,
I
no.
right, no, right. I mean, I'm not taking no notes now. I'm not saying no, but what I'm saying is like they give you a certain level of freedom and they have a certain level of understanding that some other networks may not have just by virtue of the fact that it is Black content. It's for us by us.
Mm.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And what do you hope the audience get watching each episode weekly? What do you want them to take away from each episode?
It's a good question. Actually, you've seen an episode, right?
I've seen, yeah.
See,
I mean, it's great.
How many
Yeah.
how did you take
did you see
it?
the first two? How many did you see?
Yeah, I've seen like 3 or 4.
Three or four? Three or four? Well, you tell us. What you think?
Like, yeah, what was your thought process?
I mean, no, I think the show is great. I mean, I don't want to give anything away, and I have motor mouth, so I don't know the professional ways to say it before I give everything out. So you guys are trained to.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you. We got you.
Yeah.
I mean, Every episode I would say is our favorite. Like there's certain things that we love about each episode. And what was really important to us was figuring out, okay, we have 7 episodes. What do we want? What would we like to say in these 7 episodes? Like what do we want to see, or what do we want to express? And how are we intending on doing that? So for us, each episode kind of lives it in its own kind of tells its own story, but all kind of like linked together to tell the full story of the series. So every episode is, I mean, great to me.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I will love what I love most about it is the family dynamic within the series, the friend groups, the relationships that we're seeing on TV, some that we don't necessarily see that often.
Yeah.
Between a mother and a son and things of that nature, like the uncle and the niece and that relationship, just that playfulness and the comedy that ensues between buddies and friends, and social groups, which is very interesting to me, and I can't wait for people to see that.
Yeah.
You do mention the family dynamics, and you said this is loosely based on your life. Did you get in any kind of trouble with your family? Did you pull from them or draw from them with some of the maybe storylines?
Good question. Uh, it's a I right now I'm getting more of the, am I in it? What did I do? Which character am I? And I'm like, it's a mixture of a lot of things, and it's also, we had a writer's room that poured into the show, so everything is mixed in and intertwined between everybody inside the room and their experiences as well. So it's not solely just me, but there is hints of certain people in my life in these characters, but also sprinkled in with the amazing writers we had in our writers room.
Right.
Awesome,
And also,
awesome.
let's just see what they say after the show comes out.
Exactly.
Awesome. Before I let both of you go, I want just both of you guys to give me 3 words to describe the first season of Send Help.
Funny.
Insightful.
Okay. Funny.
Is it 3?
Insightful.
Let's just do 3 together. Yeah, we'll
together.
Yeah.
Funny, insightful,
entertaining,
heartfelt,
and I think it's really timely, like you said.
Timely.
Yeah, I think it's really timely. Well, like I said, thank you guys for talking. I know you guys have a busy day with press and to promote Send Help, which will be streaming on All Black August 11th starting. Now, it's going to be dropping weekly episodes, or you can binge it?
We're going to do weekly episodes.
Weekly episodes. Okay.
So make sure to join us during our live watch parties on a weekly basis on Thursday.
Okay. On Twitter?
On Twitter, we're going to do live watch party on Twitter, and then we're going to be hosting little watch parties here and there that we'll do Q&As after via my Bassett House website.
Yeah, Black Twitter is definitely going to eat the show up. It's going to be good.
I hope eat it up in a good way. Right?
In a good way. They're going to eat it up. They're going to yeah, not like. Thank you two again. Good luck with season 1. I'm excited for everyone to see it, and you guys have a blessed day. Thanks.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you.
Thank you.